No joke, Brandon Aiyuk might be getting traded in the middle of me recording this video. So I'll try to make this update as brief as possible. It looks like something's going to happen today. It really does. I thought something was going to happen yesterday. I thought Brandon Aiyuk was going to be a Steeler. Not necessarily when I recorded yesterday's video, because that was around middle of the day, 2, 3 o'clock, and we were just going off the CTSPN report. Since then, man, it looked like the deal was done. You had several Twitter accounts. It was probably shortly after I was done recording my video, shortly after, around like 3, 4 o'clock. You had several Twitter accounts. One is basically like a burner account, a dude that has a dog as his profile picture wearing an NFL hat named Ricky. He tweets out NFL news, NFL rumors and stuff, but he was like, Steelers, 49ers, deal is done. And a lot of people believe him. I'm not judging it one way or another. You also had 49ers reporters. One guy, I guess, who has so-so credibility, saying that the deal was done. Andrew Filipponi, Pittsburgh radio host here, didn't say the deal was official or anything, but like all signs were pointing to it being done, and James Daniels could be in the trade package. I think a lot of us thought Aiyuk was a Pittsburgh Steeler at some point yesterday, because that's not even the end of it. It starts off with all that around probably 3, 4 o'clock to like 6 or 7 o'clock. That's the news. That's the reports. That's the rumors. But then insiders on NFL Network, you had insiders like Tom Pelissero, I think it was Mike Garafolo, went on the network and said, don't listen to any of the stuff on social media right now. 49ers don't have any deal in place for Aiyuk. Nothing is close right now. But then a couple hours go by, and they, in a way, refute their own report and say that Niners are talking to teams, several teams, and the Steelers are in the mix. Fast forward a couple more hours, we are left with the Steelers are out of it, and the Browns and the Patriots are the ones with trade packages that the 49ers would agree with. And it's just, I guess, going to take Brandon Aiyuk to give the thumbs up or give the okay to go to either one of those teams. And that's kind of where we're at this morning as well. I don't think the Steelers are out of it. Based off all that information, I don't think the Steelers are out of it, because don't forget, too, Brandon Aiyuk, what's the last thing I just said? Brandon Aiyuk has to give the okay. He has to give the thumbs up to whatever team he's going to. He has to agree to a new contract. If he's not going to agree to a new contract, that team that's going to try to trade for Brandon Aiyuk is not going to want that. Like, why would you want a dude that's only going to play on this fifth-year option? I guess you could franchise tag him, but a guy that's going to be disgruntled. It's the exact reason the Niners are open to trading Brandon Aiyuk, is because he's not happy with his contract situation. Why is a team going to want to trade for that? It doesn't make sense. It goes back to what Adam Schefter was saying yesterday, and Aiyuk still has leverage. And what two teams did Brandon Aiyuk say he wants to play for? The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders. Now, I don't know how serious the Commanders' offers have been. I know they've been in talks. They've been one of these teams that have been in talks to try to get Aiyuk, but I don't know how serious their offer is compared to a team like the Steelers, and how bad Brandon Aiyuk would prefer going to the Commanders over Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. Like, at the time, he had the Commanders number 2 on his list during the Ryan Clark Pivot podcast of teams that he could see himself playing for. He said the Niners, he said the Commanders, Steelers were 3rd. Does it still remain that way? I don't know, but I feel like all signs are pointing to the Steelers, man. And I don't think we're out of it. I think this is just a leverage play by the 49ers, them leaking some information to local reporters out there, even national reporters, saying it's between the Browns and the Patriots. They're the ones that gave us the best offers, and those are the ones that we're looking at. The Steelers are out of the running. It's like, cool, all right, you could agree to a deal with the Browns, agree to a deal with the Patriots, but if Brandon Aiyuk don't agree to the deal, I don't think the Browns or the Patriots are going to agree to the deal. You know what I mean? There's this whole domino effect. If Brandon Aiyuk says, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, then I think that increases our chances. That is always going to keep us in the mix here. It seems like what the 49ers are asking for is pretty steep, though. And salute to Omar Khan for holding his ground, because if it's a first-round pick, if it's a decent player like a Highsmith or a James Daniel that we got to give up, in addition to the first-round pick, it's like, hell no. Like, come on, man. First-round pick, if for us, the Steelers, like a first-round pick in and of itself is steep. Adding a player like a Highsmith or a James Daniel, like a starting quality player, it's like, nah, we ain't doing that. We'll do a second-round pick, and we'll call it a day. Because don't forget, we're the ones that is going to have to pay Brandon Aiyuk a new contract, give him a contract extension. Stephon Diggs just went to the Texans for a second-round pick. DeAndre Hopkins, back in the day, whenever he got traded from the Texans to the Cardinals, he went for a second-round pick. And he already had his contract. So, like, come on, man. Second-round pick is definitely fair. I think the Niners, if they are asking for a first-round pick plus a player, I think the Niners are seriously overvaluing Brandon Aiyuk. Seriously overvaluing him. Like, come on. That's ridiculous, man. He's a good player. He's a good receiver. But why all of a sudden are we talking about Brandon Aiyuk in the same stratosphere as, like, these top 5 receivers? Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, he had a really good season. But are we saying he's in the same stratosphere as Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase? No, he's the tier below that, with all the guys that are getting paid around 27, 26, 25 million. And I think that's his price range. And if the Niners offer to him was legit in being 26 million per year, I don't know what the years were on that, what the guarantees were or anything, but, like, that's a fair deal. Maybe the relationship, though, is that scar between Aiyuk and the 49ers, and even if he were open to accepting that number right now, he just doesn't want to play for the Niners anymore. Like, the disrespect has gone too far, and he'd be willing to take that 26 number elsewhere, because there were some things out there saying that Aiyuk would be willing to take a little bit of a discount with the Pittsburgh Steelers compared to other teams. So there's that. The place may matter in this instance. Let me know your thoughts based off all these reports. I'm thinking an Aiyuk deal gets done today. Is it the Steelers? I hope so. No matter what, the Steelers have made it clear they are not comfortable with their current receiving core. I think that's very clear, because we've been in the mix for a receiver trade, specifically Aiyuk, since March. And, yeah, we haven't backed down at all. Now, we have held our ground in what we're willing to give up. We haven't budged. We got the number. We got the trade package that makes sense for us, and we're not moving off that. So shout out to Omar Khan. Let's not overpay here. Let's not go crazy. If it makes sense, pull the trigger, though. And that's where we're at. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Stay chilling. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.